If you've ever felt too intuitive, too curious, or too awake for the life you're living, you might just be one of us.
Absolutely. Welcome to Midlife with Mystics and Misfits, where we talk about intuition, reinvention, and the beautiful chaos of finding out who you really are. I'm Cece.
And I am Jen.
Hello, beautiful.
Hello, Mama.
Are you mystic or misfit today?
Ah, mystic or misfit? Hmm. I'm feeling a little mysticky, actually. Not so
I
misfit.
think
What
I
about
love
you?
it. Same, a little mysticky. It feels like it's in the air. There's like this sense of mysticism in the air today.
There
I
is
don't
the
know.
weather
It's
here
just
is
there. It's floating there.
yeah, it's gloomy, it's dark, it's cozy. It feels
Ooh.
like it feels like a perfect witches brewing kind of night.
Ooh, I love that. We had
Yeah.
that the other day. Today for us is bright, but it's still there's still an air of mystery in it.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So
All
we
right.
we were talking about our new episode segment called Truth
Tr-
or Spell, and
yes,
you have another word for us.
I do. The word terrific.
Terrific. Okay.
Terrific. Okay, so when I ask you what you feel like when you say the word terrific,
Mhm.
how is that?
Fantastic. I'm terrific. I'm great.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the sense that it's usually used in. I
Yeah.
was rating I was when I started my I am journal a few years ago, I would write I am toned, taught, and terrific. That was my 3T sentence,
Wait,
right?
toned? Like muscular?
Yep. Yep.
What is taunt? Like your body
Like
is taunt?
taught, like
Oh
like
yeah.
like
Yeah.
taught,
Yeah. Yeah.
like put together, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
terrific with it.
I love
And I
that. Okay.
probably wrote that. Yeah, I wrote it for like 3 months and then I was like, something hit me and I was like, why do I feel like the word terrific just doesn't match? It just doesn't
Mm.
it just it didn't feel right after about 3 months. So when I looked up the root of it actually means so if you take apart terrific, the first part of it actually means terror.
What?
I know
Okay.
I'm gonna screw up words for everybody.
You really are.
Yeah.
Okay. So terror.
Yes.
Okay. Terror.
Terror. Yes.
Okay.
So the original root word of it meant um to be afraid of or in awe of something so big that you were afraid of it.
How
So
we
think about
change words is crazy.
right? Yeah. So now, I mean, everybody uses it in like everything's amazing, everything's
Yeah.
great,
Yeah.
except for the vibration and the frequency of the original part of that word still lies in terror,
Right.
right? So it was just something that wasn't a frequency match for me at all. So that's that part of the word.
I love that. Oh my goodness. I love all. So I'm trying to I'm throwing my pen at my cat because it's eating in my
Oh,
plant. And I'm like, get out of there.
oh
And
my god.
I don't have anything else to yell to
Oh
it.
man. That's
Um
crazy. Well, spirit's on the screen again, just so you know. So you're a little
oh,
fuzzy for me.
so our last
It happens
episode,
every time.
it's crazy. Last episode, after you said that, the entire screen for me went black and it stopped recording for you. It
Yes.
kept recording on my end, and I we
Thank
caught
God.
it. We caught it. So in the episode
Awesome.
that just aired on episode 15, around mark
Yes.
31, minute 31, it you can see I we didn't edit it out. And so you can see what transpired after this, what just happened. Oh, spirits here, all of a sudden
Yes.
beep beep, like it was just me on the screen, and yet you were still it was amazing.
It was so
That-
weird. It didn't pick up my end where there was a message on the screen
you read it
that it
out
had
loud.
stopped recording, but it
You
didn't
read
show up for everybody
no,
else.
no, it didn't.
Wild.
Yeah.
That is crazy. So
Yeah.
for our viewers who don't know, probably since about our third episode, Spirit is somewhere between Jen and I, and it makes Jen for me extremely blurry when we record this. So she's always very laggy and a little bit slow. So it's like I watch me on here because I can't really see Jen because Spirit just sits there.
And we've
which
asked
is wild.
whomever it is to move aside and let
Yes,
this,
and they
episode
don't.
if they're like, no.
No, and as soon as we stop recording this, Jen goes completely clear.
Yeah,
It's wild.
it is wild. It is wild. It's
Mhm.
wonderful and wild. And
Yes.
you deal with it so well because that must be really hard to, 3 minutes later, my voice comes in.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
It's not even your voice stays steady, it's all of
Mm,
your movements and your actions and everything. So it's like that's what catches up sometimes, but it's fun because it's all part of for me, I mean, I don't mind it. You know me in spirit, I don't care.
yeah. I get absolutely nothing. It's completely normal for me. So
Well,
I
that's not true because after some of our recordings,
that's true.
you've had your lights dim in and on and off, you've had
Yeah.
shadows move behind, you've had lots of things happen. They just happen off screen. Every time we go off
That's
screen, they happen for Jen on her side. For me, it's always on screen, which is
That's
fun.
true. That's true. So you know what? It's
Mhm.
part of what we've kind of signed up for when you have a title the way you have a title. Oh my goodness.
Totally. What?
I Googled us today. And the Google, I sent it to you for those of you who
Yes, you
haven't
did.
Googled us yet. Google midlife with mystics and misfits, and it's given a
Yes.
beautiful summary of us. And I was like,
I
oh,
know, it's so cool. I was
we
so
made it
excited too. I was
to
like,
the
"What?
Google.
We made it big time. Yeah."
Oh wow.
Too
Oh,
much
well,
fun.
I'm over this weather, and so I'm ready for it to be summer and
Oh,
warm.
girl. Me
Yeah.
too. We have more snow in our forecast next week, and I hope it goes away.
Boo, yucky. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. But whatever. It could be worse, I guess.
Mhm, mhm.
But speaking of weather,
Yeah.
I thought we would talk about the elements today.
The elements of the 5
Air.
elements?
Yeah.
Oh,
Air, water,
okay.
earth, fire, and the ether.
I love that. Okay, let's talk about that.
Mhm.
That's a great
Yes.
topic. So for
Right?
those of you who don't know the 5 elements, and what that
Mhm.
is, let's define it for them.
Okay, so we've got the we'll talk the first element we'll talk about let's talk about earth.
Okay.
I think we should just go through them. Like as we go through,
Okay.
we'll just
Okay.
go through
Right.
each one, right?
Yeah.
So, earth, basically the earth would be if you put it in terms of like for us, it would be like the body that holds the weight of who we are, right? It grounds
Yeah.
us,
Right.
right? The element of earth. So,
Yeah.
w- I don't know where in your journey have you really used the element of earth?
In stability, in groundedness, in right? This is where
Yeah.
this is the earth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um when I think
Root
of earth,
chakra,
roots.
sacral.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, right? So have you had any fun experiences with using like the element of earth in the things that you do, your yoga practices?
Yes, I completely was deficient in root and in earth for
Mm.
most of my life. I often, when I do readings for people, that's one of the things that I kind of connect with immediately is where they are in their root chakras. And I don't connect it so
Mhm.
much to the 5 elements. Um, the earth one is the one that comes through as pentacles for me, for those people who are more into
Ooh,
the tarot. And so it's
right.
also all about that the things that keep us feeling safe. And so I know that that's something I've had to really work on creating more balance around in my life, not being constantly
Mhm.
worried about having enough money, not being
Yes.
worried about losing my house or not being able to pay my bills. Um, I forget to eat. Like it's something like it's so interesting. I could go days and then I'll be all of a sudden low blood pressure and forget that I haven't eaten.
Girl.
And I'm like, okay, so this is the safety part, right? It's very deficient in my body.
Yes.
It was very deficient. And I'm much better now um at that like constant lack of safety. I've really worked hard on yoga poses to ground myself, mudras,
Mhm.
mantras, yantras, all of the wonderful yogic breath work, journaling. That has
Mhm.
sound seed. That's one of the big things I love listening to.
Love it.
The resonance, the hertz that is
Yes.
rooted to the root. You play the root chakra bowl, right?
Yes. It's my favorite one. It's the
Yes.
deepest sound. It's my absolute favorite one, yeah.
Just creates such a beautiful space in my pelvic bowl. When I hear that, it's like,
Oh, it's
ah,
totally
yeah.
yeah,
So
it's that that low vibration.
yeah. And so when I'm in balance in my earth element, I know that I need to eat more grounding foods, foods that come from the ground. I know that I need to put my feet on the ground. I know that I need to,
Yes.
there's this one pose in yoga that I could never do, the intense foot pose. And so you kneel and you curl your toes underneath and sit back on your toes, like,
Oh,
and
yeah,
and
yeah.
you sit up, and I couldn't do it for the longest time, and I would say, "Oh, my
No
feet,
way.
it kills my feet, it kills my feet," and that's because the earth element was so imbalanced in my
Was so imbalanced.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well
So maybe we
well,
should tell
and
people because the elements are what we all have within us, right? It's what makes up
yes.
our human
Yes.
constitution. Everybody is born with three particular doshas, right? We have I think it's
Yes.
the Veda, the Pitta, and the Kapha. I think it is.
Yes.
Kapha. I might be messing
Yes.
this up from my yogic learning. And so each
Ah!
of those has two particular elements associated with them. And in our
Yes.
hand, it also has one of the elements, right? So I think it is,
Oh,
r
our body is wired with the elements.
right? Yes. And so
Yeah.
everybody has their own particular, um, constitution of certain elements. Some are stronger than others, and this is where we have our personalities, our food preferences, our imbalances, and our balances, and all of that, right?
All
Okay.
of it.
Yeah. What
Our
about you?
meridians being out of
Mm,
line, the whole kit and caboodle. Well,
yeah.
and it's interesting that Earth for you was out of balance because your sign is air,
Right.
right? You're air sign. So you're
Yes.
little that's literally the opposite of Earth. So it's not surprising. Me, I'm an Earth baby. I'm Taurus.
Right.
Um, so for me, the grounding, the Earth, the root chakra, that's never been an issue. That's never been a problem. I've always
Mm,
been probably overly grounded for the most part. Like
really. And so, what does
that's
grounded look like
never
for you?
uh
What does it feel like when you're not grounded? Let's say that, because then we'll know what it feels like.
it feels airy. It feels airy. It feels
Oh,
the opposite.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It feels the opposite.
Okay.
So it's but it is what you said. It's like, do you feel safe in your body? So there's parts of me that are very grounded all of the time, just being a strong earth element,
Right.
but that whole like being that whole safety thing and that whole being safe in your body, that's almost decently new in the sorry, you froze and it threw me off because you froze really funny. Sorry. Oh my god, it threw my train of thought off.
Okay.
Um, yeah, but like finding safety in like who you are,
Mm,
that's been a fun like journey over the years, right?
mm,
That feeling safe in your own body and
yeah.
feeling good. So for me, that rooted part that should be there, that was absent. And now it's starting to be there. But for me, like in the way of elements and working with like the earth elements, for me, I work with the earth elements daily. Like I will work with my salts, I will work with my moss, I will work with like the actual elements of the earth are actually like part of my daily well, all the elements really, but in the way of earth, salt and plants for me are things that I work with daily.
Mm. And you
Like,
find that that helps bring you back into balance when you're feeling, or
oh
that
yeah.
helps you keep you in
Yeah.
balance, I guess.
It helps keep me grounded and feeling stable,
Mm,
if that makes sense.
yeah.
So if I have any kind of interactions that throw me kind of off or throw me a little bit airy, I'll come back in and I'll grab salt and I'll grab rosemary, and then I'll use those 2 things with the water. And then, like, even just washing my hands with that or, a splash on the face or whatever, and that regrounds me.
I love that. And so
Yeah.
the thumb this is your, in yogic or, meridian, ancient Chinese things, the thumb is the element of earth. So when you do like a mudra or whatever, whenever you incorporate this, it's either closing or like blocking the earth.
Oh,
Interesting.
so interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. So the next
My
one.
sister's gonna be like, "I should have been on this one because she does, Eden energy work, and I know the elements are a massive part of that, so I know she's gonna be like, "Oh my god, you guys should have had me on."
Oh my god,
And
well,
we'll
we'll
do
do
that
another
another
one, and
we'll do
she
that
can then
another time.
actually
Yeah.
talk to us, she can teach us. Right now,
Yeah.
we're just talking about them now.
W Yeah, we're just talking about kinda, like, what works, right? So,
Yeah. Okay, so
yeah,
air
so
is the next one, which is
yes,
me. I'm air.
which is you. Yes,
Yeah,
you're air.
yeah,
So how does that work or has that worked for you, with you?
yeah.
How do you work with it?
How do I work with the element of air?
Yes.
I am very much somebody who is in my head, and all up in the overthinking, in the imbalance of self. Communication, somebody who is go, 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 and lives in this kind of constant movement, this kind of wind air energy. I'm constantly moving,
Yes, you are.
constantly flowing, and I do not stop. So that's
Yes.
the imbalanced part of it. So part
Yes,
of
and it's
the
so funny, and we're both complete opposites. I'm like,
complete,
sit still, don't move, don't have to," right? Like,
yeah,
we're so
yin and yang. We're
it's
so yin and yang.
fascinating. Yeah, it's fascinating.
And this is the beauty of us and the mirrors that we're holding up for each other, right? I'm learning
Oh,
so
yeah.
much from you in the, I'll randomly say, "Oh, I'm so tired, but you know what? We'll tape tonight." And you're like, "No, you won't. You're going to relax and you're going to stop and sit
You're
down."
gonna go to bed, exactly.
I'm like,
Go
"Okay."
go rest. And then there's some moments where you're like, "Okay, we gotta get this done," and I'm like, "Alright, let's go."
It
Right?
is true. Yeah. What about for you? So now, if this is my in balance, although it's how I've lived, it's my constitution. It's something that I've
Right.
constantly been trying to hold in check because there is a point of excess for me, even though this is where I feel comfortable in who I am. That is me, this wind flow. Um,
Yes.
Really kind of strong at communication, a little bossy pants sometimes, very clear, direct. My tone sometimes is a bit harsh. Live up
I feel
here.
like that's fire. That's the fire in you.
Yeah, that's the pitta. That's because pitta is
Yeah.
I think, oh no, pitta is fire and water, which is so interesting. But I am air, and so I'm yeah, I'm a bit of a
Well
Tasmanian devil. That's what I would call myself. What about you? Because you're the opposite of that.
well, I know for air for you, you use air in your breath work. I mean,
Mm,
that's
I never
yeah,
even
and I don't
thought
even
of
know
that.
yeah, you didn't I know you didn't even recognize that you do that and you do that well, but you actually use air, right?
Just
So
did a
for
big
me,
like,
it's funny because when I came across this topic, I came across it in like the aspect of like the mystic, the crone, like how do I use all the elements? Like how do I use them on a daily basis? How do you use them on a daily? Because in me, I use them in ritual, I use them in spell, I use them in a whole bunch of different ways, right?
yeah,
And for
yeah.
you, you come at it from a different way, which is so cool, but you don't even know you use it as breath work,
Don't. I never even put that together.
right?
I've got to
And
sit with that. Yeah.
and we've been learning to use that through voice,
Mm.
right?
Which is something you and I have struggled with.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. So we're learning to use that element in a way that we haven't used that over
Hmm.
the years, right? Which is
Mm.
super cool. Um me for air, I use it in breath work too, just as of recently. Um and I use it not when Chris is around, but I use it when he's not around when I do my humming or I do um like, I don't wanna say chanting because it's not really chanting, but in,
Mhm.
like, different vocal tones. I'll use
Right,
it that way, right? Through voice. So I do
right.
use that the element that way. And then in the summertime, when we get the good winds, I'll use that with fire outside too.
Mm.
So I'll use that in, like, releasing things on full moons or on new moons or whatever the case is. So I'll add that. If it's out there, I use it.
Yes. And so it's so interesting when you just even said like humming and chanting. I absolutely, when I'm doing mantra, with each of the chakras, there's a different mantra. And so or
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
universal sound seed for us, um, eh, so yeah. Oh, this is just expanding on like, oh my God. And I just said,
Right? Think about it a different way.
yeah, I just said last podcast how I've all of a sudden felt this calling for breath work and I need to start digging into this and taking some courses in this and now I understand why I'm obviously in some kind of deficiency of air or needing to expand my where I am in this new chapter in the
Well, it's like
air element.
yeah, it's like the healthy balance for you in the air element because 'cause you've been on
Mm,
the other unhealthy balance of go, 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 like, and swishing and moving and not stopping, right? And now you're being called to balance it out in the other aspect of it.
yeah.
Like how
Air with
isn't that
earth.
beautiful? Isn't
Air
that
with some
beautiful?
earth. It is beautiful.
Yeah,
Oh, I love that
100%,
perspective. Oh,
right?
I
Which
do, I
is
do.
crown and root, you can't I mean, those are the 2 that you'll now be balanced in
Yeah,
the more you work with both.
yeah. Okay, so that one is the first finger, air. So whenever you like so here's a good one that I use often in my mudras. I close off my knuckle, and so I'm blocking the air energy in, my body, in my constitution, and what that does is it helps stop the, overthinking, it calms the mind, and then the nervous system. So
Oh, I love that.
when I'm sitting in, meditation, this is what my hands are like on my lap.
Oh, I
Um,
love that. Do you wanna
yeah,
describe that for our listeners who are just listening and not watching? How to do that?
yes. Yeah, so I literally just close my so you can block it. You'll see a lot of like this happening, right? This is where,
Yeah,
you know, but I actually close it off with my knuckle
so
and
thumb to first finger,
yeah,
except over your knuckle,
over my knuckle bent over. That's right. And then
and
my
then
last three fingers together.
I
Palms
love
up
that.
or palms down. I prefer palms up to receive. Yeah, but if you want to ground, you can put palms down. Yeah, so it depends on what you're doing.
Oh, I love
But
that. I love you know about mudras. I love mudras,
yeah, I'm just
and there's
learning.
so many of them. They're so great.
So many. That's it. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, good, good, good. The third one is
You
space.
go, 3rd so ether.
Ether. That's right. Yeah.
Right? Ether. So, I've got stuff right now just so
Mm,
we can go through them. So ether
yeah. Tell
is
me about
it's the field you cannot see, so it's the space in between. So that's your intuition and your knowing. So when you feel
yeah.
disconnected from the ether, you feel alone. You'll feel like you're searching for stuff, you're grasping at things, and then when you feel really open to it, that's when you're feeling guided, you're feeling aligned, right? So it's you and the connection to source, basically.
Mm,
That's how I define the ether is my connection to source.
mm.
So yeah. So what's that look like for you?
Um, for me, it's interesting because I would say my connection to source has really um expanded since 2020.
Mm,
And I think that you and I have kind of talked in previous podcasts about
we
that.
have, yeah.
So, my getting out of my own body, right? And,
Yeah,
getting into the ether, and even with breathwork, which I just described in the last podcast,
you
in my
did.
breathwork ceremony where I was so in the ether, where I was so in space and I was so expansive, I had trouble coming back into my body, and it took hands-on and a lot of time to get myself back in and be able to actually move my body again, which was I gotta be honest, if I wasn't in such a safe container, would have been a
Mhm.
very scary thing, to
Right?
not be able to move my body. Right? So,
For sure.
yeah, and so for me, the intuition, the third eye, and that connection to source, um, really means connection to one, right? Because we are all, from my perspective,
Absolutely.
part of one.
Yes.
But I even would take it a little step further because I'm such a solitary person that even on the app School that you and I have created these containers for community, and so it's connection to community as well through other platforms too. We've done
Oh,
that. You
yeah.
through
Definitely.
TikTok and through YouTube or whatever, and through
Yeah.
personal workshops and things like that.
Well, that's when we're talking about ether, it's so expansive, right?
Yeah.
It literally is oneness. It is literally everything out there. So, for you, when you were in Mexico,
hmm
was that one of the first times that you trusted something like that, that you couldn't really explain what was going on?
Um,
I told Chris, I'm like, "I'm gonna be teacher today. I'm gonna ask her questions."
I know. I was like, what happened to this
You're
role
like,
reversal?
"Wait a minute, what?" Because
You know
that's
what?
really and
If
that's a
I'm
good
going
question
to
for
be
everybody.
transparent and
Mhm.
vulnerable, I would say in a space where I did not know the person. Yes.
Mhm.
But I have
Amazing.
allowed my body in other instances, in other workshops, and but I knew the people that I was with, and I was very trustworthy of being able to have them ground me back in. And
Ooh,
it was
nice.
something I've actually looked into a little bit with potentially going to a retreat and doing some medicinal, things
Mushrooms?
to, yeah, to see if,
Yes.
because once you start playing with that bigger than the
Oh,
physicality,
yeah.
it is mind-blowingly, at first it's scary, but it's mind-blowingly, just a beautiful, it's so, and because you've done this,
I have,
it's
yes.
instantaneous knowing, well,
Yes.
I've never done them. I've never done the mushrooms, but, what I would love to do, what's it called?
Psilocybin, yeah,
That's right.
which is
And
what mushrooms yeah, what they
yeah,
give you, yeah.
right. And so I know they've done, like, there's like the poisonous toads that they put on your skin,
Oh,
different,
there's lots of different stuff, yeah.
yeah, yeah. And
I
so
haven't gone that far yet.
not now I know, I'm like, "Well, how far do I wanna go?" 'Cause this is, that's the fear and the humanness of us, right? But
Right.
what you can get through the expansive and you can see, and, once I start speaking to people who've crossed over and one spirit is coming to me, and you realize that this human form is something that lives, I mean, it dies, but we live on, our soul lives on, and
Oh.
so that journey is a little addicting to see where we can go next,
Oh,
right?
yeah, it is. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, it is. Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
the
The first
peace that you get when you're
Oh,
there. Mm, yeah,
yes.
yeah.
It's, um, yeah, the first time that I did that, was back, I think in 20 I wanna say 2021, where I first did my first mushroom trip. And I had that fear. I had that, like, underlying,
Mm,
like, "Oh god, I don't know what's gonna happen." All I
yeah.
knew is that they were plants, and I knew, being the earth witch that I am, that I was so connected with plants that I knew I could speak into them with the journey that I wanted. So the first journey I asked, I said, "Just all I wanna see, I just wanna I want you to show me, like, oneness. I want you to show me unity. I want you to show me what that looks like." Right? Well, I
Mm.
got it, and it was amazing. It was it was absolutely amazing. And it once you do that, you do realize that you are one with everything.
Yeah.
You're one with the couch that you sit on, you're one with the clothes that you wear, you're one with the breath that you take, right? Like, you literally you're one with the entire universe.
Yeah.
And we came at I came out of that one. I did it with a friend, and I was like, "Oh, I can't wait to do the next one," right? And of course, plants call you in their own time. So it was like I wanted to do it again. I wanted to do it again. Like the ego part of me wanted to do it again because you do feel this expansiveness of being beyond this, like being
Yeah.
beyond the physicality of where you are. And that
Yeah.
is it is crazy addictive. So my second one, my daughter and son-in-law, they've practiced quite a bit, so they've had a lot of experience, and she said, "Okay, for your second one, I want you to write yourself some questions down of, like, what are some things that you want answered for yourself?" And I was like, "Ooh,
Okay.
okay, we're gonna this is gonna be more therapeutic than it is because now I
Mhm.
know what it feels like, I know what it is." And so I did, I wanted to, there's 2 things that I really wanted to work on, and one of them was my sinuses and one of them was my heart, because
Mhm.
I had this underlying fear that there would be something wrong with my heart, and my sinuses forever just bothered me. So in the
Mm.
second journey, I was actually able to literally see the inside of my heart and rest it and clear it, and then I could go up into my sinuses. When I tell you it's trippy because you actually become one with whatever you decide to become one with.
Right.
And, and there was a lot of release and everything else with that one. But you're
Ooh.
still all ether. You are everything all simultaneously at once. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Um, and the third one, um, which was the last one that I did, I decided I was like, okay, they were called golden teach. Well, they were, yeah, were they called golden? Yeah, they were called golden teachers. So I was like, all right, I'm like,
Let's
it's
see what
time to
they're gonna
teach.
teach me.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so before each one, and I don't know if you haven't done this, make sure you do it with someone who has. Don't do
Yeah.
this by yourself.
Yeah.
And be very intentional with it. So with
Yeah.
each one that you do, intentionalize with it what you're wanting out of it, because you'll get some of what you want out of it, and then you'll get whatever they're supposed to teach you. So with
Mm.
this last one, I sat and with intention, I said I am 100% open, teach. And um, it was the most intense 8 hours of my entire life. It was about 5 hours of ego death and
Oh.
yeah,
That
5
yeah.
hours of ego death
Yeah.
and, about 3 hours of rebirth. And it was intense, like, intense. So if you're not ready for ego death, A, don't ask for it, but, B, know that it's amazing after you get through it. And
Mm.
I always do it with my friend who's done it before, and she's always the best coach through the whole thing, because if you don't have I don't think if you don't have someone there coaching you through, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I had death, like Mayan death masks coming at me for 5 hours representing death. Like, and I could not get away from it. You can't, I could not get away from death for 5 hours. It was wild. So, but that was working with the ether. That was working with all that is.
I am so happy you shared this with me. Yeah, so I have been looking into this, but
Yeah.
now that I know I can get there, and I just had a flashback as you said these Mayan masks were flying at you in
Mhm.
this breath work journey that I did, where this
Yes.
insane experience happened. I had afterwards, I had to paint a picture because it
Mm.
was the only way that I could
Describe it.
describe what happened to me. Um, and it was part of the cat family is all I can say, and I drew that,
Mm.
and it's these eyes of and the woman afterwards who was doing this with me, through our language barrier, she shared jaguar, and I was in Mexico, and she
Ooh.
said, "This is the animal
The
of
spirit.
the spirit animal of Mexico, and it was
Yes.
with you, protecting you in this realm to keep so that because I kept
Mm.
seeing these eyes, and they didn't feel I didn't feel fear, it felt like, you know when you see that meme of, the lioness and all of a sudden behind her comes this fierce lion, right? The
Yes.
male, like,
Yes.
"I'm here, you don't even need to," you just feel the energy kind of envelop you. It
Yes.
felt like that, and so I knew that
Mm.
even though I was out in the, I don't know, expanse of this ether, I knew I was protected. And so there was no
Amazing.
fear, where there could have been
Wow.
fear, yeah. So
Well, I was shitting my pants for 5 hours. I was very afraid for 5 hours. Um, seeing seeing death for 5 hours straight coming at you and, like, feeling
Oh,
your en feeling your entire, uh, like, everything that you are die with it as it's
oh,
happening.
no,
Like,
yeah, I'm not
I
ready.
yeah, I paced, like, I couldn't sit still for this one. Normally, I would sit still and, I paced and paced and paced and paced, and, um, Karen, who did it with me, I mean, I would look at her and she was all like, "Yeah," because she always gets the best she always gets the best ones, and I remember being like, "Oh my god, like, I can't believe that you can't see what I'm seeing," but no, she's not, she's on her own journey, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And, um, and it was just uncontrollable tears for 5 hours straight because it was just like
Mm.
all of me was dying for 5 hours, and then all of a sudden it just flipped, and there was this rebirth for 3 hours. I was literally rebirthed through the central sun. It was quite incredible. Um,
Mm.
and I was rebirthed through the central sun into the mother and father creator's arms. Like it all happened as if
Oh,
like I was being
yeah,
reborn again. So it was super, yeah, it was super interesting, but it was intense. So go slow. If you start, go slow. Go
yeah.
slow with easy ones.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. I've done a lot of research because,
Mhm.
I'm a very logical person, and so, for those of you who are on the fence or even are against, whatever
Yeah, that's
LSD
okay.
and all of these whatever,
It's all
all I
good.
would say
Yeah.
is just with a critical eye, look at the reason why
Yeah.
they turned against the law. Just look with a critical lens. And there's lots of documentaries out there and that will
Oh,
give both
so
sides.
many.
Yeah.
So
So,
many, so many. Well,
yeah.
and I think for almost everybody, it will be an underlying fear of something. It'll be an underlying fear of going against religion, going against man-made law, going against whatever the case is. But
Yeah.
ether itself is the all-encompassing law of the
Mm,
universe. I
mhm.
mean, it is everything. And then
It
we've got plants, which are earth, and plants have been put here specifically for human beings to use in every facet,
exactly.
right? So,
Exactly. Yeah.
but yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
ether for me is very encompassing, like very
Yeah.
encompassing.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, so that's the middle
Mhm.
finger. So any
Yes,
mudras with
ma'am.
that will either block or promote. Okay. Next one, ring
Yep.
finger is earth. No.
No, we did
Wait.
earth.
No, we did earth.
Water? Water or fire?
Oh, wait a minute. I made a mistake. Thumb is fire.
Oh,
Fire,
thumb is fire.
air,
I'm just going by what you say. I don't know
yeah,
anything about the mudras.
fire. Okay,
Okay.
yes, fire. People are probably like, no, it's not this woman. Okay, fire, air, earth or space, ether.
Yeah.
Sorry, space, and then earth is the ring finger. Earth. Sorry, earth is the ring.
Earth is the
There we
ring
go.
finger. Okay,
Yes,
so then
yes,
let's go to fire, which is the thumb.
yes. Good. Let's go back to fire. Yes,
Let's
tell
go
me
to
more.
okay, let's go to fire. So
Yeah,
fire. The truth that burns. So desire, anger, passion,
yeah,
boundaries.
yeah,
So when fire is suppressed in the body,
yeah,
we feel resentment, we feel frustration, we feel anger, we feel all the lowest frequency stuff. So fire's a big one, right? And
yeah.
then fire, when we're in that element, we feel passion, we feel driven, we feel like we're
Ambitious.
moving forward, ambitious. Yes, right?
Yeah,
Fire's a
yeah,
driver. And we're
yeah,
in the fire horse year. So
yeah.
this is a big element for this year, right? And then like, um, for me, fire, I was gonna ask you for fire, but it's on the tip of my tongue. Because for me, fire is like a daily living thing. I don't think you can see behind me, but I have like a bajillion candles behind me, and most
Mm.
days, those bajillion candles are always lit because I work with fire on a daily basis. I work with fire to bring in my team in spirit, and I work with them to bring in spirit themselves, right? So they're often here. I work with fire to burn away things, like to burn away things that don't serve. So I'll write them down and fire light them up. And fire for me, fire for me, when I'm in the anger or I'm in the frustration or whatever, I can easily transform it through its own element into, right, movement, passion, drive, all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So I use it, for me, I use it very ritualistic on a day-to-day basis. Like when we eat dinner, I put candles on. When I'm in the kitchen cleaning, I usually have a candle going. So fire's with me very often.
And so I absolutely I use it sparingly, I would say, because I think
Yeah.
my constitution is so fiery and so
Yeah,
filled
you've got
with
a lot.
I've got a lot. So spicy foods?
Yes.
No, does not it sets me imbalanced. Hot days? No,
Yeah.
like, it literally will just especially sports, but what it does do when again, what I have to be super careful because the drive gets excessive, gets addictive,
Mm.
and so I have
Oh,
yeah,
that's your
and so
imbalance.
it is, and so, when I'll say, "Okay, what are you gonna learn this year?" "Well, I'm going to decide I'm gonna run a marathon." Like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a
Right?
triathlon.
Yeah.
And then
You're
I
like,
need to
what?
be the top, I need to make podium for my age range, right? Like this is
Right.
where the competitive and if I don't, then I'm like,
Yes.
I'm never doing that again. But that's the fire that I have to be careful of
Yeah.
because
You have
that
to you have
will
to tamper it down.
that's it. So there's a lot of that I have to realize that too much, it will send me into a imbalance.
Well, and
Yeah.
the imbalance comes from you being air too, because air makes fire larger, right?
Oh my god, I
Always,
never even put that
always.
together. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Fire for Earth is
yeah,
pretty grounding.
mhm,
But yeah, air and fire together, you're talking now. You're like a fire tornado
yeah.
when you're imbalanced. When you're imbalanced with it.
Yes,
What's
when
the
it's in
question
check.
that goes with this? Yes. So the question with this one is for fire, because it's part of creative expression too, is where are we swallowing things that need to be
Ooh,
spoken to in truth rather than swallowed,
ooh, yes. Let me just
which is
sit
a deep one.
yeah, where are
Yeah.
we what are we swallowing? You know what? I would say that for most of my life, this is probably where that people-pleasing energy came from. And I would
Hmm.
only this is hence why I think it created dis-ease in my voice with
Mm.
thyroid cancer, with
Yes.
nodules on my or cysts on my vocal cords, um,
Yes.
uh, closing my voice, not speaking my truth, mincing
Right.
my words, biting my tongue, right?
Hmm.
Like these are all of the ways that I think that I've been swallowing it and then there's an eruption. It does come.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I think that's for me where but I've shifted, and so now I'm creating boundaries, and I'm saying no if I want to say no. I'm resting when I it's hard, but I'm putting the fire, trying to put it out a little bit to fill up my tank so that I know that I don't have to burn out, essentially.
Right.
Yeah, what about
Exactly.
you?
Um, I'm not swallowing my own bullshit anymore is what is for me is the biggest one, is I'm not swallowing my own crap anymore. My own excuses, my own stories. My own stories are not being swallowed
Oh,
anymore.
the
I
ego
question the
stories.
stories. Yeah, the stories that come about. Um and it's when you get rid of one, it just seems like one pops itself up, and I'm sure a lot of listeners will relate to that because
Yeah,
it's almost feels like it's never ending in the brain, right? But I'm
yeah.
not swallowing that stuff anymore. I question it, and I light it on fire, and I'm like out, like off you go. it's because it's not truth, right? So
Whether
it's
journaling or speaking, like, how do you not swallow it? Because there has to be a way to get it out, right? There's gotta be a shift somehow.
yeah. For me, it's journaling it. For me, it's writing. It's for
Okay.
me, a lot of stuff always goes back to writing. There was an incident this past week where um, something was said and I did swallow it for probably a good 24 hours, and immediately I started to get a sore throat, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh fuck, I get it. I'm okay. I swallowed what I was supposed to say, and I didn't say it, and it's no longer an issue because it passed and everything's fine. But I
Yeah.
swallowed what I should have said. I swallowed,
Mhm.
so I was like, I need to get it out as if I should have said it. So I wrote it and then I burned it, and of course, my sore throat by the next day was gone.
Mm.
Um, so it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter how you speak your truth. Speak it write a book, write a blog, right? Create a video. It doesn't even matter how you speak it.
Mm.
It's a matter of getting it, of not holding it in, of getting it out, if that makes any sense, right? So it's
Completely.
however you need to speak it. And I know I have a lot of people who've had thyroid problems over the years, and a lot of them are like, "But you know me, I always speak. I'm like one of the loudest people around there." And I always go back to, sure, you are, but are you actually speaking your truth? Or are you
That's
speaking what
it.
you think needs to be heard? Or is it just your opinion? Or is
Yeah.
it just words that you think will either create tension or relieve tension? Like, what is it your truth? Right?
Right.
Because your
Yeah.
throat always tells you if you're, and you know that your throat always tells you if you're speaking your truth or not.
Mhm.
One way or another. It
Yeah.
comes the easy way or the hard way. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's part of the fire element. Our throats are part of the fire element. It's part of expression.
And it's so
S-
interesting as you said that one of my closest wonderful friends, I'm not gonna say her name because, I don't wanna blast her life, but she has had major trauma, and
Uh-huh.
has literally since January, gone through a dark night of the soul. It's insane, and the work that this woman
Yay
is
her.
putting through. Yeah, right? I know, and, she wrote a book in, like, a week. Wrote a
Ah,
book.
of
She
course.
and she just kept sending me chapter after chapter, and I was just sobbing after sobbing because it's her life story,
Ah,
and I'm so proud. I'm getting goosies, and I'm so emotional right now because she's like, "I'm
aw.
just sent me a text a couple days ago saying I'm actually gonna publish it." And I was like, "I'm so freaking
Yay.
proud of you." I'm so freaking
Yes.
proud of her. So, yay to her. I know she's listening. And so,
She transmuted her fire.
yeah, she sure did. And it's just
Yeah.
such a healing journey. I don't even think she realizes the amount of healing. I think she feels it a little bit, but I don't think she's and the ramifications,
Yeah.
the ripple of the water of the pebble that she's gonna drop with this book, and even if it only reaches the 5 people it's supposed to reach, it won't, it will reach
Doesn't
more,
matter.
but it doesn't
See,
matter.
that's yeah, and that's where we all I think that's where we all lean back, where we don't do the things that we are going to because we don't think we're gonna reach enough people.
Yeah.
That was, I think, one of the benefits when you and I started this is we were like, "Man, whatever, we don't care. Whoever we get and
Yeah,
whatever," right?
yeah,
And that
yeah,
was like that's why we decided to do it because I don't think there was any fear attached to it. But I think for a lot of other stuff like that, same thing. I'm like, I know I have a few books in my head that I need to write, and then but there's that part of me that sits back there and is like, don't let your voice be heard. Fuck.
yeah, yeah,
God, right?
yeah,
That the
yeah,
yeah,
but you know
that
what? Here's the
the ember.
thing, you just said, "I'm not gonna swallow my own bullshit anymore."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Okay, so we're gonna do it,
Uh,
we're gonna do it.
we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Yeah,
We're absolutely gonna do it because now we've talked about it. It's out there. It has to go out, right?
that's right.
Fuck. I love when we talk. So good. So
I
so
know.
good.
Okay, so
Okay,
we're
next one.
last one is water, pinky, water.
Water. So
Yeah.
your emotional current, right? Your
Mm.
tears, your intuition, your ebb, your flow, your ability to start something, right?
Yeah,
So when we're when we're blocked, we
yeah,
we hold, we suppress, we analyze.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
apparently I'm blocked in the water element. instead of like yeah, instead of doing. And when water flows, emotion moves through you without you drowning, like without it drowning you.
Yeah.
So the question is, do your emotions move or do they stay and become stories? Ah, I didn't even read that before we started. God dang it. I already
Well,
answered that question.
now you know.
I already answered that question. I'm water deficient apparently in the
Yeah.
element,
Yeah.
and
You know what?
often mine become stories.
And here's the greatest thing, there's the mirror, right? There's the mirror, and so
Honest to
now
God,
it's
it's
like,
so good.
okay, now I see it, and now I can create more balance in the water. So you're gonna do a lot of
Yes.
mudras with your pinky, you're going to do a lot of heart openers, right? Because water really the
Yes.
flow is for me when I
Well, and
feel it.
I've
Yeah,
been working in that area.
yes.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I'm excited. A lot of the heart chakra cell
I was
molding.
gonna say I don't work with water a whole lot other than tears. Other than that, I don't actually work, hand in hand with the watermelon element almost at all, which is so freaking interesting now that I'm
Yeah.
talking about it to you.
Okay, so how can we add more? Okay, so water, would that be, I'm wondering, would that be like cool foods? What would those be? To call that, we'd have to like think about how like, a salt bath maybe, like, actual elements of water,
Yeah.
call
I
it
mean,
in. And I need
can
to
I
Google. Yeah.
I wanna go sit by the ocean for about 9 weeks. How does that sound?
Oh,
Then I'll work with the water.
honestly, the ocean is that's why we know studies show it's very therapeutic, right? We know that.
It is yeah, yeah,
So,
it's so therapeutic.
yeah.
It's so therapeutic. I'm called to it all the time, like, I'm called to the ocean, and I'm called to the salt water, and I'm called to those things, but it is literally the last thing that I out of all the elements. Now that we're talking about it, it was not in my consciousness before this. That is yeah, it's the least one that I work with. What about you with water? Do you work with water?
I think that yes. So I know when I bought my house, for example, it was important that I had a pool. And I
Mm.
will sit by
Oh,
the
yeah.
pool, in the pool. I'm often at the beach. I do get cravings to head when I think of retirement, when I think of
Yeah.
where I'm going. You and I have talked about this. We're moving to a beach and we're literally just
Yeah.
going to have a coffee shop and with yoga and be on the beach.
Exactly. Perfect.
That
Exactly.
sounds like heaven. So obviously that's
Totally.
calling me for a reason. So
Yes.
emotionally though, like with the flowing of emotions, that's something that I need to continue to work on. Um
Hey,
because
you've
my
gotten way better since January.
oh, I know. Listen to me.
I told you,
I
you just had to
know.
hang around me for a while for that. I've seen you
I
cry
do.
more times than you've probably cried in a few years. It's good.
Honestly, it's probably true, but
Yeah.
you held up that mirror and I was like, okay. And that's what this woman who I did this breathwork course said after, when she got me back in and we were kind of just coming back in and reflecting. And she said, you are one of the strongest warriors I have ever met. She goes, but part of
Aw.
strength is vulnerability. And I was like, ooh,
Oh. You're like,
oh, okay then. Yeah.
"Ooh."
She called me on that. And I was like, oh, okay.
She
Because I
called
was
you
like,
well.
what is this wetness on my face?
I'm not used to those things.
Is this nonsense anyway?
And here I could fill up jars on any given day.
It,
It
oh,
comes out of nowhere for no good
right.
reason. It just comes, right? So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
just so
Well,
interesting. Well, it's so interesting because I'm off balance on one end, probably on that the emotional end. I'm probably a little bit off balance to where it should be, and you're on the other end of it where you're a
right.
little off balance.
Right. And so this is the teeter-totter, right? This is the yin
Yeah,
and the yang, you
yeah.
know?
Well, this is kind of why I wanted to talk about the elements because I don't think we like think about them enough, and they are part of our daily lives through everything that we go through.
Mm,
So.
Yeah,
So
and that's the
I hope this has been an eye opener for everybody a little bit.
yeah, and if you, are still here, oh my goodness, stay
I
curious,
know.
stay intuitive, and if you're feeling like a misfit, you're probably right where you need to be.
Heck yeah, you probably are. Even if
Hmm.
you're a mystic and not a misfit, you're still here. So thank you
That's
for thank you for being with us. Hit the subscribe button, share this out, comment on there, tell us what elements that you're working with right now, whether it's through ritual, whether it's in your own balance, your own life where you're out of balance. Um I think sharing all of this stuff really does help everybody else realize that they're as normal as you can get in a human,
yeah,
whatever this is. So, thanks
exactly.
for being with us. I'm Cece.
And I'm Jen. Take care.
Okay,
Bye.
we'll catch you next time. Bye.